everyone, so today we're going to talk about tips for growing your hair long and keeping it healthy. And this is something that you guys ask me about all the time, and I'm gonna kind of just put it out there that I'm not an expert when it comes to hair. I'm not particularly into hair either. It's not kind of a field of beauty that interests me particularly, so it's not something that I kind of dwell on that much, but there are a few things that I think really contribute to keeping your hair long and keeping it really healthy. And I am definitely a long haired girl. I've always pretty much had long hair. I just like it better. I like it better on other people. It's just kind of personal taste, but it's something that's kind of always mattered to me, and it just feels like it's part of me almost. And I have had hair longer than what I have now. I've also had it shorter, and I wore it kind of poker straight today. It's not my favourite, but I wore it poker straight today just so you could see what the length of it exactly was. So if I just back up a little bit, then you can see, well, I hope you can see, kind of it's layered slightly, but the longest part of it's probably like waist length. Well, my waist is actually here, but yeah, that's how long it is. And I had it cut probably last March, and that brings me to one of my first tips, which is, I know a lot of people say give your hair regular trims, cut it often, it'll help it grow. That very well may be the case for some people, but for me personally, and that's the only person I can speak for, that doesn't really work. I find that kind of not cutting my hair is the safest way to keeping it long. And I know that that probably sounds like kind of an obvious tip and it's not the most helpful thing, but if you are someone who trims your hair all the time and you don't understand why it isn't growing, try and just maybe give it a break with that and see how it goes, because some hair types just don't respond as well to that, and mine's like that. My hair does grow quite quickly and it's just better. I mean, if you're getting split ends and you need to give them a trim, then by all means do so. I don't really have very bad split ends, so it's kind of not something that I struggle with particularly, but if you do, then just trim those every now and then. That's perfectly fine. But don't kind of have a full haircut too often, because I do think that that can kind of have a counteracting effect on my hair. As I said, if you believe in that, and like that's what every hairdresser pretty much recommends, then by all means go ahead. I don't disagree, it's just that's what works for me. Another thing, and this is more to do with keeping it kind of healthy, but I always think kind of the healthier your hair, the more it's kind of prone to growing and to kind of getting in good condition and getting longer, is to do with colouring your hair. And I don't mean this to come across as a lecturing kind of way, and I was thinking about the tips kind of earlier of what I wanted to say, and I couldn't think of a way to say this without sounding like I'm kind of being kind of like high and mighty, and I'm not at all. But I feel obligated to tell you that obviously if you dye your hair and if you bleach your hair, it isn't going to be in the best condition as if you don't. That's just kind of a fact, that bleach, personally, I feel really does wreck the condition of your hair. I used to, well, let's back up. This hair, this colour now is my natural colour, so it's a kind of dark brown, and then I've got a little bit of a kind of lighter blonde bit here that I've always had since I was a child. So this is my natural colour. When I was probably like, I don't know, 15, when I was about 13, I think I had a few highlights put in, and I liked that. But then what happened was, as soon as they grow out a little bit, I hate that look, and then I'd have to keep having it done, and it got a little bit annoying. So I then proceeded to ruin my hair by using sun-in, which is basically just bleach, and I put it on and I put it on, and my hair got lighter and lighter and lighter, and basically at the crown where I'd been putting it on, it just was starting to snap off. Like there were bits here that just kind of ended there. It was horrible, and they'd like just stand up and breakage, and it absolutely trashed my hair. So but by that point it was pretty much blonde, and I'll see if I can find any pictures and I'll try and put them in the end of the video, but if not, I'm sure I've got some on Instagram. But I managed to get it back to being healthy again. There was a line, I think it was the L'Oreal like Nutri in the yellow packaging, that line, I used that, and they did like a kind of strengthening serum, and I used that all the time for like a good 4 or 5 months, and I got my hair back into being in really good condition, and the breakage had kind of grown out by then, and it was fine. And then I dyed my hair black, and it looked really good at first. I will try and insert a picture of that at the end of this video as well, so stay tuned for both of those. But I dyed it black, and it looked good at the time because I was still living in Israel then, and I was really tanned, so it looks really good. But it wasn't sustainable because it only looked nice on me when I was really tanned, like not tanned like I am now, like proper tanned. And yeah, I couldn't sustain that, so I realised that wasn't really for me. So I let the colour kind of die out, sort of like wash out kind of thing. And then since then I've just left it to be my natural colour, and I've kind of dabbled maybe here and there with using one of the like L'Oreal casting creme gloss washes on it, and I do sometimes, like in the summertime, wish my hair was a slightly warmer tone, because I think it is quite a kind of cool toned brown, and my skin tone's warmer, so sometimes I feel like it could do with being a little bit warmer. But one of my issues with that is obviously because of where the blonde bit is, that root grows blonder, so then the roots look a bit funny, and I can't deal with having roots. That just drives me mental, and then you keep doing it and all that kind of thing. But my hair has never ever been as healthy as it is since I've had it my natural colour, and I've probably had it my natural colour for about 5 years now, and it really was the best decision I've ever made for my hair, because before that my hair was really dry. I had breakage, like I said. The bleach had just absolutely wrecked it. So getting away from that and leaving my hair its natural colour was absolutely the best thing for it. And I know that pretty much everybody knows this, and we all know that hair dye and bleach isn't great for your hair, but sometimes we just kind of, you know, still want to dye our hair, and that's fine. But if you really are struggling to get your hair in healthy condition and getting it long, that probably is something really worth considering, because it really helps my hair. And like I said, you know, so I have days where I wish it was a slightly different colour, but I generally know that to keep it in nice condition, this is probably the best thing for it. And I also tell myself that, you know, when I'm older and I start having greys, I'm going to have to dye all the time anyway, so why not enjoy not having to do it for now? That's kind of my reasoning. It's also because I can't be bothered and it's a faff, but that's my reasoning. So yeah, so I talked about colour and the trimming situation. Another thing is, I do find that if you have quite dry hair, it can be harder to get it into a state where it kind of grows, because it tends to just be a little bit more damaged. So swapping your regular conditioner out for a hair mask every time you wash your hair, whether it be daily, whether it be kind of a few times a week, really does help to kind of give the moisture back to your hair. I don't have a favourite hair mask at the moment. I'm using the L'Oreal Extraordinary Oil one, and I really like it, but I don't have a particular favourite that I think kind of will transform the look of your hair type of thing. But I do like using a hair mask when I wash my hair instead of conditioner, because I just feel like it gives it an extra moisture boost. Then when it comes to kind of treating your hair as well, something that I think a lot of people forget is to consider your scalp, because your hair grows from your scalp. So keeping the hair kind of near your scalp healthy and keeping your scalp healthy is really important as well. And I have got kind of a lot of scalp issues. I've got a very sensitive scalp, and I'm really prone to product buildup, and I just have to keep everything really clean and kind of keep my eye on it. I've got a very kind of irritable scalp. So what I tend to always do is use kind of a clarifying shampoo every now and then, get your scalp really clean. And if, let's say, it's the weekend and I know that I'm not going anywhere, I will try and kind of just wash my hair and just leave it to do whatever, not put any products in it, just leave it, and it dries this kind of curly, frizzy, hybrid, weird mess type of thing. But just leaving it like that to do its thing for a little bit does actually work, and it just kind of gives it a little bit of a boost again and helps it to grow a little bit, and just keeps it kind of from being overloaded by products, because I think that can sometimes actually be more damaging than good. It's not going to do any harm, but it's not really the best thing for you. And the other thing is just kind of giving it time. I know a lot of people really recommend taking vitamins and that kind of thing to help with hair growth. I have tried that, but I don't think that anything really worked for me that well. And there's one vitamin, I think it's like, I want to say it's like Imodine, but I don't think that's what it's called, that's meant to help your hair grow. Is it biotin? I can't remember what it's called. This is supposed to help your hair grow, but I read loads of people say that the side effects were that they got like body hair in other places, and trust me, I struggle enough with body hair to have to be dealing with that. I do not want to be dealing with that any more than I absolutely have to. Thank you very much. My phone keeps going, stop it. So yeah, those are pretty much all of my tips. I don't think I've left anything out, but I hope you found this video helpful. If you're trying to grow your hair and you've got any tips, then please share them below, because we'd all benefit from it. And another thing that I sometimes do that I find really strengthens my hair and kind of helps it be in good condition is to sleep with conditioner on. So I'll kind of put it on my hair, wrap it up, and then sleep with it and just rinse it out in the morning and kind of style it as usual. I find that usually works nicely. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any tips or tricks or anything like that about keeping your hair long and healthy, then please put them down in the comments below so we can all benefit from them. And I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.